Well, good morning. Good Saturday morning, everybody, in Empowered Soul Network. It's going to be another great day. I always have these great days starting out in the morning and doing these kinds of interviews and having a lot of fun. I actually have the fun of I've been across the Pacific Ocean this week. I've been south into Mexico, and now I'm going to fly across the Atlantic Ocean all the way to The Hague, Netherlands, which is where my guest Karola Grünenbaum, hope I got that right. I got close
Yes,
anyway,
yes,
is joining us
close enough.
yeah, there we go, to share about her experience in life. She is a founder and director of the Stark Real Estate, and she's also the author of, oh, I think this is a really cool book, the author of The Hague, Houses and Happiness. And I think you can tell us about that, Gorla, but I think that's about how to not have to go through all the aches and pains of buying a house, buying real estate, and just really having a fun, joyful experience with all that. So I want to welcome you here today, Corolla.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Paul.
So tell us a little bit about what's been your inspiration in life? What's led you to what you do today?
I mean, I can really source inspiration from a lot of things, like almost everything and anything, like also like art and children and my own family. And of course, I had some really good inspirational and motivational speakers I followed, and that gave me that little extra uh, to go through life, I think. Yes.
What was it in particular that you were searching for or wanted to make you reach out to connect with people who had thoughts and feelings that helped you? Was there a particular challenge or particular thing you were looking for that which might help our viewers to look at themselves and see solutions for themselves?
Yes, you see, life is has to be lived. You cannot get up 7 days every week, and do the same thing. And you need to break that particular pattern um, of the circle. There is a circle, and it's just not good enough for me. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for something really extraordinary in life.
What's an example of something extraordinary that you have actually found?
Yeah, you come to this world as a whole being, and through all of what we go through, family, school, friendships, experiences, good, bad, ugly, loving, you have to find your whole being back in this um, connection to your creator, to your God, and finding a purpose. The, Finding the purpose of your life is extremely important, I would say.
How did you begin to do that for yourself, Corolla? That's a great question for everybody. They're always searching for what am I here for, and all that. How did you start to find the pathway?
That's a really good question, Paul. Now you ask me, I really start to think about it. And it started with books, starting really theosophical books, examining, researching all sorts of religion, um, and then not finding the proper answer there, because it will all end up somehow with a big deceit of the dogma, which was putting me really into a position where I thought, this is not it, and there has to be more. And this is really how it slowly started, examining a lot also for a lot of years. And then at one point, I had a really good friend. I still have her as a really good friend. And she kept on telling me, you have to see this guy. It's amazing. It's life changing, and it changed my life. And we talked about it, and I thought, oh God, what is that gonna be now? And then she talked about this guy for 2 years until I bought a ticket and I went there. So, and that was the start of something really huge in my life.
What was it? What was the shift that came? Here you go to this place, you're done, they're done, you walk out. What did you walk out with from that meeting or
Wow,
the
that
conference?
was a wild weekend, I'm telling you. Yeah, I will never forget that. That was in Brussels. I drove to Brussels from The Hague. It's just like a couple, 3 hours if you're lucky in traffic. And so I was in Belgium, and I was amazed that there were like 5,000 other people. Didn't see that coming. There were some people I knew because I've lived also in different countries and continents. I've lived also in Switzerland and in London and in Hong Kong. And I met a lot of people. It was just amazing that you meet people in a place like that. And the venue was called UPW, Unleash the Powers In, from Tony Robbins. And when we did the Dickens process, my whole life was on very loose screws. It immediately also ignited that my partner at the time left me on the spot. So yeah, what can I tell you? It had quite an impact, and it was all right that he left me. I mean, it could have gone either way, but it went that way, and I was okay with that. So yes, things happen for a reason, don't you think?
I do, and it sounds like that all the searching that you had been doing with
Mm-hmm.
all this outer dogmatic putting you in a box, putting you in a container. The impression I get is when you went to that session with those 5,000 people, that was exactly the opposite. It was like a freeing and an opening and an unleashing and a community, a giant community that all wanted the same. Is that kind of a good description of that?
Yeah, people who wanted more, people who want the breakthrough, people want to break the pattern, people who just want to experience life to the fullest. And it was like a warm bath, because I always thought I was like this duckling or the black sheep or whatever people call it in different countries. So and there was not, that 5,000 others, not everybody, obviously, but a lot of them, and a lot of people that I knew. So it was just like quite a revelation for me, and it took me on a very long and really never-ending path. Yeah.
Yeah. So here you are today. You have a very successful real estate company. You're writing a book that
Yes.
if I'm watching the pathway, this elevated you to
Yeah.
be in your purpose, be in your success, right?
Yes.
How would you describe today how you feel now after those years? What's different today for you? If I were to say Karola is a person who has, and then say some qualities, how would you describe Karola?
I'm in my own female power. I feel most of the time very balanced. I do analyze things quite a bit, and that hasn't changed really over analyzing stuff and thinking about things and examine things. But I would say I found really my purpose of being, you know, in all my integrity and in my work ethic,
Ethics,
and
yeah.
yeah, sorry, and so, you know, and giving and being able to receive love, I think, in the purest form, which is also a really beautiful sort of life I have created for myself. Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank
Gives
you.
me goosebumps listening to you. There,
Oh, thank
there
you.
are solutions out there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So tell us about the inspiration behind writing your book, The Hague Houses and Happiness. Yeah, there it is right there. And what was the inspiration for that? What is that? What's that helping people with?
So you see, The Hague is a city which is not very big. I mean, if I compare it to other cities in the world or where I have lived, it's like not even 1 million people here. However, there is a very large expat community. And since I am in the Netherlands, long-term expat myself, you know, being born in Germany and being around the globe a bit, um, I found that there is not a lot of reliable information on the internet. There is a lot of information, but however, it's not reliable. And since I have a lot of experience myself, also when I came here myself, nobody showed me the ropes. It was before the internet. So I had to figure out everything myself. And then I started studying real estate. And that's why I wrote the book. It's so important that people have reliable information. And I call it houses and happiness. Yeah, houses is obvious, but happiness is because a deal is only a happy deal when all parties are, you know, satisfied, happy. It's a good deal. Not when one party only is happy, you know. It has to be the right thing for everybody. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
There we go. There we go. Can you hear
Ah,
me?
ah. Yes, yes. Now I'm back. I
All
hope
right, good.
you were able to hear me.
Hold on just 1 second, Carola.
Sure.
There we go. I think we're back now. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, all
Okay.
good.
Technology did something a little
Yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah.
So
Wi-Fi.
that's beautiful what you were saying about, helping everyone to have fulfillment out of some kind of, physical world transaction that
Yes,
is so important and so valuable. When you have finished helping a person find a new home and so on, what kind of feeling do you have inside?
a really good feeling that I've done something for someone else, you know. I mean, you know, living is also serving, and I like to help people as much as I can. So that is, it gives me a good feeling for the people that they have a good home for the years to come, for them and for the family and for guests, a happy home. Yes.
Have you ever seen somebody years later and they still remember the relationship you created? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, I mean, I even have clients still from the first hour, which is just really amazing that you know, you have a long-term relationship. That is what I'm looking for with my clients, to help them in a good way, and it gives them a good feeling that I send them a little note sometimes, like a Christmas card or a little WhatsApp for saying happy birthday. You know, it's just like, or a little reminder, oh my God, it's been 10 years. Congratulations for holding on to your house for so long. It must be a good house, you know, like, yeah, you know, or having dinner or a drink, or going to a pub and watch a really nice football game, soccer game here on a huge screen, you know, that you meet them there. It's lovely, you know, it's a good feeling.
It's almost like they become family, right? Like a certain
Yeah,
extension.
extended family. Definitely, definitely. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So what have you found as we begin to wrap up here, what could you say to people about finding happiness? Beyond just houses and things like that. What have
Oh
you
yeah, got it.
seen the result of of how people find happiness? How can they do that?
And you first have to find yourself. You can only define yourself also when you are by yourself. You can't define yourself when you're constantly around people. So you have to also retrieve, regroup, and remind yourself of who you are. And when you do that, you know, in the stillness of your own being, and connect with yourself, and maybe even with whatever you believe in, your creator, or uh, yeah, you know, the power behind everything, that is extremely important. And it's also really important to be fulfilled. I've read one of John Gray's books where he was talking about like containers which have to be full. So the whole aspect of your life, you have to keep the containers full. I don't know how he described it, but he described like the whole tree, or the whole wheel of life, like, you know, your love, your, you know, your significant other, and your family, and your work, and your spiritual side, and your work. Of course, work has to be also very fulfilled. Otherwise, if you're not happy there, you have to do something about it. I mean, after all, we're not a tree. We can shift. And yeah, once you make that shift in consciousness, and you know that you can, you know, you can tap into your core and into your being from the stillness of analyzing who you are in this gentle way, in a loving way, then, you know, you can find yourself, and to come into your own power and into your own stillness, and though, as a consequence, the happiness.
Beautiful. That's it. I mean, beautiful. What I take away from what you're saying is, especially is in all of that self-examination, I have to make sure that I'm kind
Yeah.
to myself,
Yes.
have compassion for myself, because sometimes we get
Yes.
so, I got to change, I got to do this, I got to make a difference. But it's that quietness where the answers are really
Yes.
lie, right?
Yeah, the answer is already inside of you. I mean, if you, I think Buddha said that. I think he said that, Paul, that if you have compassion but not for yourself, it's doesn't mean anything. So it has to start also with yourself.
So
And yeah,
it's an interesting analogy. One of my favorites is love thy neighbor as thyself, right? It
yes,
didn't say before thyself or after myself. I have to do it as myself, which means I need to
yes,
love myself.
yes, it does
Yeah,
mean that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yes.
There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, you need that as a person. I mean, I know it's sometimes very difficult for people to see that, and I get that. But it's never too late to make a good start in feeling love and compassion for yourself as well. It's never too late for that.
And yeah, and I think we started the interview with your kind of your journey. I mean, you wanted to make a change. You started reading books. You started searching. You started finding out this is what I want. This is what I don't want. And really, really going from the authentic heart of things. And then you found some friend that inspired something, and you went, and that
Oh,
changed. Yeah, it's a beautiful journey.
and I'm telling you, I went back to UPW about 6 times. Not only as a participant, but I also served there as a volunteer, as staff for that long weekend. And I took the entire course on life mastery, and that was very fulfilling and very interesting because it took me twice to Hawaii, and that was a beautiful journey. And in the meantime, I've been reading thousands and thousands of books, um, to a point where I can't store them anymore, so I'm giving them away. And yeah, and in the meantime, I went to a different direction also, because this is really a long time ago already. It's a couple of decades in the meantime. So, I moved on with what I do uh, concerning my own development.
It's beautiful. Tell us how can we get in touch with you? How can people find the book? Tell us how, and then you can put that in the comments underneath
I
the.
can do that.
Yeah,
The book you can find on The Hague, housesandhappiness.com, where I have a lot of blogs written, not only about The Hague or the Netherlands, but also international real estate. And you can always get in touch with me on LinkedIn. I post motivational content there most of the days of the week. Most of them, not every single day, but happy to welcome you there.
beautiful, beautiful. Karola, thank you so much for being on Empowered Soul Network. This was delightful and some really great hints for those of you that are watching this or watch this in the coming days. Be sure to comment, connect with Karola, check out that book. If nothing else, you're going to read about happiness. Even if you don't want to move somewhere, you're going to read about happiness, which is
Yes, definitely.
some good keys there. So, Karola, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Empowered Soul
Paul.
Network. Empowered Soul Network. We will see you soon. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Stick around for just a minute. We'll touch base here.